Hey everybody, I'm Dave, and I'm a geologist. And geologists, one of the things that geologists like to do is they like to tell stories, and they like to tell stories about the land and the oceans and glaciers and volcanoes, and they like to tell stories about rocks. And I brought a rock here that I've been carrying around in my pocket for the past couple days. And I really like this rock because of its shape and its size, and it has some good memories for me as well. I found this rock in the Bighorn Basin of Wyoming, which is just to the west of the Bighorn Mountains. And the interesting thing about the Bighorn Basin is it's got a lot of rocks that date to the same time as the dinosaurs. And this rock, one of the interesting things about this rock is that it is impossibly smooth. It looks like it rolled around in a rock tumbler and rolled around in one of those pot rock polishers. But I just picked this rock up right off the ground, and it looked just like this. And it just reflects the light, and it's smooth in my hands. And it's in the same layer of rocks where you find a lot of dinosaur fossils. And one thing about dinosaur fossils is that they don't stick around very well. They're pretty weak and not very durable. But rocks do stick around. And this type of rock, we have a name for it, and we call it a gastrolith. And you can ask your parents. Gastro relates to your digestion, and lith means rock. And so this rock is a rock that aids in your digestion, or maybe not your digestion, but the thought is that these rocks, and you find them all over the Bighorn Basin in a very particular package of rock, helped in the digestion of food of dinosaurs. Because dinosaurs, either by intention or by accident, would pick up a rock like this and they would put it in their mouth, and it would go in their stomach, and it would trundle around in their stomach and maybe hit some other rocks, and all the while helping that dinosaur digest its food, and all the while smoothing out that rock. And when you go out to the Bighorn Basin in that right package of rocks, you find hundreds or thousands of these gastroliths on the landscape. And I just find that to be so fascinating, to just see these on the landscape and think that each one of these was probably just sitting, helping a dinosaur digest its breakfast while I stick it in my pocket and digest my thoughts for the day. So that's the gastrolith right there. All right, now time for one more story. And this story is called Everybody Needs a Rock by Bird Baylor, and the pictures are by Peter Parnell. Everybody needs a rock. I'm sorry for kids who don't have a rock for a friend. I'm sorry for kids who only have tricycles, bicycles, horses, elephants, goldfish, three-room playhouses, fire engines, wind-up dragons, and things like that, if they don't have a rock for a friend. That's why I'm giving them my own 10 rules for finding a rock. Not just any rock, I mean a special rock that you find yourself and keep as long as you can, maybe forever. If somebody says, "What's so special about that rock?" don't even tell them. I don't. Nobody is supposed to know what's special about another person's rock. All right, here are the rules. Rule number 1. If you can, go to a mountain made out of nothing but 100 million small, shiny, beautiful, roundish rocks. But if you can't, any place will do, even an alley, even a sandy road. Rule number 2, when you are looking at rocks, don't let mothers or fathers or sisters or brothers or even best friends talk to you. You should choose a rock when everything is quiet. Don't let dogs bark at you or bees buzz at you. But if they do, don't worry. The worst thing you can do is go rock hunting when you are worried. Rule number 3, bend over. More, even more. You may have to sit on the ground with your head almost touching the earth. You have to look a rock right in the eye. Otherwise, don't blame me if you can't find a good one. Rule number 4, don't get a rock that is too big. You'll always be sorry. It won't fit your hand right, and it won't fit in your pocket. A rock as big as an apple is too big. A rock as big as a horse is much too big. Rule number 5, don't choose a rock that is too small. It will only be easy to lose, or a mouse might eat it thinking that it is a seed. Believe me, it happened to a boy in the state of Arizona. Rule number 6, the size must be perfect. It has to feel easy in your hand when you close your fingers over it. It has to feel jumpy in your pocket when you run. Some people touch a rock 1,000 times a day. There aren't many things that feel as good as a rock if the rock is perfect. Rule number 7, look for the perfect color. That could be a sort of pinkish gray with bits of silvery shine in it. Some rocks that look brown are really other colors, but you only see them when you squint and when the sun is right. Another way to see colors is to dip your rock in a clear mountain stream if one is passing by. Rule number 8, the shape of the rock is up to you. There is a girl in Alaska who only likes flat rocks. Don't ask me why, I like them lumpy. The thing to remember about shapes is this. Any rock looks good with 100 other rocks around it on a hill. But if your rock is going to be special, it should look good by itself in the bathtub. Rule number 9, always sniff a rock. Rocks have their own smells. Some kids can tell by sniffing whether a rock came from the middle of the earth, or from an ocean, or from a mountain where wind and sun touched it every day for 1,000,000 years. You'll find out that grown-ups can't tell these things, which is too bad for them. They just can't smell as well as kids can. Rule number 10, don't ask anybody to help you choose. I've seen a lizard pick one rock out of a desert full of other rocks and go sit there alone. I've seen a snail pass up 20 rocks and spend all day getting to the one it wanted. You have to make up your own mind. You'll know. All right, that's 10 rules. If you think of any more, write them down yourself. I'm going out to play a game that takes just me and one rock to play. I happen to have a rock here in my hand.